There we go. Audio back now. There we go. Got audio working, got everything else working. So, apology for that. I need to start getting used to doing a live stream. I'm not used to doing them yet. Getting all settings set up and stuff. Yeah, I've got audio now. It should be working now, audio. Let me know in the chat if it's working. Let me do a quick check here. Audio. Yeah, that's working now. Yeah, I had to play around with some settings. I'm not used to doing live streams. I will get better. I promise. I will get better at doing live streams. But how are we all doing? Everyone can hear me now, I hope. Well, Bristol said he can't hear you, but you just said, how are we all? And you said, we're good. Good now. Perfect. Fantastic. We are good to go. So, this week, I was expecting Wednesday to have done some business this week, but it didn't materialize. I was expecting some business from Wednesday as soon as the window was going to open, and I'm a little bit shocked that it hasn't happened, to be honest with you. But window's open. We can now go for players. We got that all to look forward to now. So it's going to be good to see who we can get in touch with and try and get in. Now, some of the people we have been linked with are interesting, let's be honest. Let me just see if I can just bump this thread a minute. A moment. So yeah, I have made some new thumbnails and stuff for this week. So it can be good to see what happens. We have apparently gone for people, but I was expecting some announcements. That's what I'm saying. But yeah. So let's start with the first player on this list. If you could like it, I'd much appreciate it. If you can also, if you want to donate or super chat, you can do that as well. I'm not saying anyone has to with everything that's going on in the world of energy bills. It's insane. So let's have a look at this then. That's a keeper I haven't actually put on the list, but now you've mentioned it, I will turn around and say it. So, James Trafford is a Man City player who was at Bolton last season. He was very good for them. I think there could be a deal there to go, but we'll see what happens. Let's start with player number one. So, the player number one is Wilkes, who Steve just turned around and said. So, the rumoured player is Wilkes. Hull City at the moment, he's been told he can leave, which is great news. But the reason I put his stats here is 20 games. I put two stats up. There's the stats from this season and the stats when he was in League One. Now, this is the bit that's important with it. So, 20 games last season and only 3 goals. But in League One, he's a little bit of a beast. 44 games, 19 goals. That kind of goal scorer we need who can link up play. Now, to be fair, Windass is very good friend with him. The Windass boys, actually, because I mentioned Jordan, his brother, and I got confused in that video. But Darren had him when he was at Donny, and he did well there. And I think this deal is pretty much good to go. I think this is going to be done very, very soon, if not already done. You probably got is we are waiting on players to come back from holiday. We are waiting for the players to come back off the break, and I was expecting some of them to happen already, but it never did. So it's going to be really interesting to see what we do going forward in this one, because this one's done, I think. I think this is a cracking player. He got that all-important pace that we need. Him and Windass, like SWSC edits say, would be absolutely superb. Wilkes at this level is very, very good. Moore has a relationship there. There's a relationship with not Dean Windass. Josh Windass, or not Jordan even, Josh Windass, which is great. They are really good friends off the pitch as well, which really help. So player number 2 is Ben Hennigan he's from Wimbledon, but he's technically going to be a free agent. It'll be free. He did 41 games last season. 2 goals, that should say, not 2 games. I noticed that when I did it, I just couldn't be bothered to re-edit it because that's taken me a while. And this is an interesting one. A lot of people have had their say already and gone, do we get him? Do we not? Is he worth going for? It's one of the ones, a lot of people see it as that kind of, he come from a relegation hit team who struggled that season. And he's had that situation where you're looking at him going, is he going to be there? But he's a good age. I think he's only 28, I think. But he's really good. I spoke to a Blackpool fan who liked him when he was there. I think it's one of those ones where it probably, as Jack has said, he probably already signed, but I can't say anything like that because it's not official. I only do the official stuff when it's official. Until they're holding that shirt up, I ain't going to turn around and say it's signed and done, even if I know it is. I don't do that. I want it to be official before anything else, because you might know more than me, but I don't. That whole situation, I know bits and pieces, but I'm not going to say on here. I don't want to kill sources or people who have trusted me with that information. And if you've been told something that he's signed already and someone trusted you with that information, remember you've been trusted with that and you just told everyone. So unless it's official, keep it that way. Keep it that way. That's the best way to go. But I think this is a really cracking deal if we get it done. A free agent. It's another auto signing where you look at it, you think, yeah, that makes sense. We need something at the back anyway. The back is where we really need to get more players in the door and start moving forward in that sense. So player number 3 was one that got mentioned today. And I did a video on this at 4 o'clock. Go watch that as well after this. David thought that I don't get this one. I get it and I don't. He's 36. If you're going for the experience, he got it. He got the experience you want for this league. Did okay when he was at Wickham last season. Really good quality keeper. That experience, he'll marshal the defence. Made a mistake in the final as well, which wasn't great, let's be honest. And it's one of those ones where 18 clean sheet, 46 games played. He's consistent. He's fit. That goalkeeping kit is horrible, by the way. Looking at it now. But that's all right, Jack. That makes sense. And it's an interesting one with this, because if you're going for this player, like SWSC Edits had just said, why don't you just go and get Westwood back if he was fit? And I thought we were meant to be going on the preface of bringing in a younger replacement. And the problem is, I'd rather go get James Trafford. I'd rather do that. Or if there's a young lad that's going to go forward, that's who I go for if we can. But it makes you wonder what the situation is with Dawson and Wildsmith. Now, Wildsmith have got a deal on the table. We don't know if he signed it or not. I can't see him being happy being on the bench again next season. I've got to be honest. I think he would be better going and getting some football, and then we can replace that player with someone younger and go there. But I'm not too sure about the Stockdale thing. Stockdale apparently faced the most shots and made the most saves in League One. In that sense, it makes sense. He's a good shot stopper. But also, if he had the most saves to make in League One, shows you how poor that defence was for Wickham at times, even though they are dogged at times and they sit back. I hate Wickham style of football. If you're a Wickham fan, no offence, I just hate watching it. It grates me. But the age thing is a bit of a factor, but he is a Yorkshireman. He is a Yorkshire player, and I wonder if that got a bit of the pull, because when he was at Brighton, I think he left Brighton to go to Birmingham because he was closer to home. And I wonder if this is the same kind of thing. He'd been at Wickham, he wants to be a bit closer to home, go a bit farther afield, go that way, enjoy being close to home and be happy with family and friends. That can make a big difference when a player is wanting to leave, kind of thing, or go to somewhere new. Like one of the big ones that we talked about last week with Jaden Dotley. And the thing with Dotley is that they turned around today and said that he is, if we want him, we're going to have to pay big buck for him. But if he got a family and his family settled down there, it's going to be very hard to persuade them to come up. With Stockdale, if he's from Yorkshire and he's got family up there, that could help. Let's see what's happening in the comment section here. Hi, Tom. Hi, Jordan. Let me just have a read. I think it'd be Hutch, to be honest, come back on lower wages. Maybe. Could happen. But what did Dawson actually not do. We told him to go out and get match experience. He went and got match experience to the hilt and got a team promoted. He was in a promoting winning team, which was huge. Let's be fair. That is a huge thing to be in a promoted team, right? Massive. Absolutely massive to have a promoted team. That shows you your experience, shows you how you got on. And I think that's a huge thing, that one. And I think he got to be given the chance. It got to be, for me, it got to be Dawson to lose. Personally, I think it's Dawson to lose. I understand why we're going for another keeper, especially if we're going to lose, say, a Wildsmith. This could be the person that can sit on the bench for Wildsmith, but I can't see that. It makes you wonder what's going to happen here. I don't want a Westwood, like Ben just said. I want to move on from old players. I don't want to keep having this thing. And much of people said to me, Hutch, oh, we should sign Hutch. I think it was the right time for him to go. Let me read some of your chats here. What about him and Dawson? I think that might be it. I think that could be there, Tom. I think him and Dawson trying to compete for that number one spot might be the thing that needs it. Trafford is a player I'd love to see get in, but I don't know how that's going to be. Evening, Nat. Hope you well. Westwood could take away or take him. I can't see it. Even move on from our players. Hope we get more. The interesting one with the youngsters is you look at some of the players we are linked with and going for. They are at a young age and we are trying to bring that down. Trafford is a goalkeeper I love to get in. But if you've got Trafford, it's like, where does Dawson fit into that? Because I don't want next season to have a lone keeper. I'm being 100% serious. I hate having lone keepers. I think they're the worst thing that some club can have. Because you've got no foundation to build next season if you don't get that goalkeeper back. I've always hated having a lone keeper. I'm not a fan of it. For me, a lone keeper has got to be someone, if you're going to loan him, you're going to turn around and buy him at the end of it. And I really, really mean that's going to be this kind of thing for me. I'm not a fan of lone keepers. Let me have a look at some comments here. Yeah, the Morosi deal has died down. Unless that's one of those ones that getting it kind of sorted. I don't know. Just retweeted a tweet. What would the tweet, Robert? Let me check on my phone. So I'm intrigued by this because I'm always interested with what's going on with the goalkeeping situation. Like I said, I do not like loan keepers because unless we've got a deal in place to buy them at the end of that loan, I'm not a fan of it. Let's have a look. Dom Howson, what's he retweeted? Let's have a look. Yeah, I've seen that one. I'm going to talk about that one in a minute. Well, for me, it's Dawson to lose, whoever comes in. I think Dawson's shown enough to go and get that number one spot for me, personally. Mr. Fluffyberg, I'm moving back down to Sheffield this year. So looking forward to getting back to watching Wednesday and go to the game first. I hope we do, mate. I really, really do. I had seen that, and I'm ahead of you on that one because that's who we're talking about next. So, Will Volks. He was on loan last season. I believe he was at... Chat, help me out here. Become a brain gone dead. He's technically now a free agent because he'd been let go by Cardiff, which helps. And I have a funny feeling... I have a funny feeling that they're going to... Rotherham, that's why I couldn't remember it. It was Rotherham. So Will Volks is the next player we're going to be talking about. Now, this one's been gathering information all day. When it first started gathering, I was a little bit like, oh, okay, fair enough. We'll see what we can do and try and get something out of it. Apology for that. My dog just came barging in. And I will be interested to see how this deal works now because I think this deal is very, very much like the Joe Byers deal. Now, hear me out here. When we had to go get Joe Byers, we had the situation that when we were all like, oh, we can't afford him, we can't pay for him, and we'll go from there, and we'll have to do this. He is a very good player. He is, if you're thinking about players, he's going to be the player that replaces Luongo if he doesn't sign. Now, the interesting thing with Luongo, him and Shea Dunkley have been talking about mega deals and mega contract, makes you sometimes wonder. Hit and Mendes Lang as well have been saying a lot of things. Because this is really good to see what happens next with this one, because I think this player, the kind of player you get with Darren Moore, one of the players where you think he can turn around and say, look, I want you, the club wants you, let's talk to the club. Are you going to get a deal at the end of this? Where do they see you? I want you to play every week. And that's something that might go into a player's head as well. If they're not thinking they're going to play every week, they're going to be like, well, I don't want to be here. So it will be interesting. But Will Vaulks is one of the ones that I am very interested about. And I think you get a midfield of Vaulks, Bannon, Byers. That sounds quite scary, to be fair. Let me read this one. The thing is that bothers me is new keeper may only want to come if they're guaranteed number one spot, whereas I think Westwood will come and be happy and sit on the bench and let Dawson be. It would be interesting on that one. It would be interesting. Went to Till I Die TV. Yeah, Punk, glad to see you live. Thank you very much, mate. I'm trying to keep it as regular thing as possible as I can. FWSC edits. He does seem like a great player. I think he's one of the players that will fit very nicely in our midfield. I think he'd be a player I would be very happy to go and get, because I think it's that interesting thing there. Now, so I've seen it in the chat from Nat saying any news on Luongo, not seeing anything about contract being re-signed. So let's go back to this camera. Let's see if it does it and pop out. So the interesting thing with some of the new players who have been offered contracts. So a lot of them are still away on holiday. If you follow some of them on social media, I think Mendes Lang went to a wedding. I know Wildsmith's away. Luongo, I haven't seen anything about him, but the Luongo, the interesting one. It is a World Cup year. He got left out, the Aussie squad. He wants to go to the World Cup. He wants to go play for his country. Now, I don't know if him being at Wednesday is seen as a demotion, so he's not getting shown enough time because it's not higher up. This is the interesting thing you got to remember with some of the players that we may go for, is that if they're an international, they want to play week in, week out, and try and get into whatever national team they're going to get into. Now, as we said on the Talking Wednesday podcast, which is every Tuesday at 5 p.m. and on all podcast platforms of choice, so please go have a watch. I kind of get Dex's thing of going, I'm not bothered if we don't sign some of them. I'm all right with them all going if they don't sign. Hunt, by the sounds of it sounds like Hunt has got a deal ready. It sounds like Mendes Lang, Hunt have verbally agreed their deals and that's good to go. Wildsmith, no idea if that one's going to get done. And Luongo, I still think Luongo's off, personally, unless we offered him a bit of cash. And I kind of don't want to offer him too much cash. I'd rather reinvest it on someone else, because when he's fit, he's superb. But when he gets those niggling injuries, it becomes an issue. And when those injuries constantly keep being the same kind of thing, I worry about where you move on then. Where do you go next from that situation, if that makes sense? I'm always intrigued by that whole area of things, especially with our injury record. Our injury record is horrible. Let's be honest, our injury record last season was atrocious. Hopefully we can improve that this year with hopefully changing some things at the training ground. But it's an interesting one. I can't see Wildsmith wanting to stay. I'll be honest with you, I can't see him wanting to sit on the bench this season and be a bench warmer again. I think he's got to go and play 13 football now. He's 25, 26. That tag of being a young keeper. In terms of keeper, he still is young. But I think he's got to go for him and his career, because I can't see him getting into this Wednesday squad now. it's going to be interesting who we get in this window, because I'm always interested with our deals since Moore come in, because there's something about how Darren Moore recruits and the recruitment team is, and sometimes they'll pull out a gem and you'll think, how did we get in? Byers is the one from last season for me, and Marvin Johnson. Now, the interesting thing also this week, we were talking, there was a video on it, I think I did it Tuesday. I can't remember which day was the day that I put all the videos out. I just remember one day that I put like 4 videos out because everything broke. What do people think about giving Deli Bashiru a new deal? For me, I 100% give him a brand new deal. He's only 21, which I completely forgot about. I thought he was still a bit older than that. I always think he's about 22, 23. I think you got your backup there to the, like, say if we get in a Will Volks, that's your backup player to that player. Because if you look at it, you've got, let's just go through our midfield at the minute. Our midfield at the minute is Bannon, Byers, Luongo possibly if he don't go. So take Luongo out of there. It's Fizz. Then you've got Adeniran. Then you've got, say, a potential Will Volks. You've got a really, really good midfield there. Deli is a very good player. He's really, really bulked up a bit. And I'm interested to see what he can do now going forward, because he's really shown he can run at a player. The only bit of a game that needs working defensively and getting back and tracking back, he can sometimes slack it off, and his timekeeping in, you know, getting to training or getting to when they're meant to go to away games. Baz had mentioned that needs to get sorted. But it's that interesting thing with Deli. I think there's a cracking player there. He played more games this season, which was great. He can run forward with the ball. He's built like a tank. He put that lot of timber that we were wanting him to get on. Then, if that deal goes through, I will be very happy for him to sign no contract and go forward. It will be really good if that happens. So, the other thing that happened this week, because it's a bit of a rumour mill and a catch-up, I'm going to try and do these every Friday. And we'll try and do something when there's weekly games as well. We might do a Friday Wednesday catch-up or something. The other one was with Bailey Cadamartri. So Bailey signed his deal, which was fantastic news. If you were on the Talking Wednesday podcast, you heard us talk about this, and both me and Dex were 100% sure he was going to go to Man City. 100% sure. Let me just read some chat before I go on with this. With the likes of Bayer, Bannon, and Adair, it brings in Vokes. We won't miss Luongo. He's a great player, but have players in need. Just in capability. Bashiru, 100%. Now, I'd like to see more permanent signings than loans. I agree with you on that one. Hector, I will love. Hector's always going to be an issue on wages. Hector will always be wages permitting. I think I can't see him dropping down wages. And I think it may be location as well. His family's all down in London as well. So it could be wages and location. We'll see. Let's have a look. Alvin Davis, we're on Wednesday, aren't we? Fizz, yes. Not sure on the keeper, but supposedly better than the other two. Yeah, I get your point on that one. Drives forward in midfield. He does indeed. Does Fizz. I'd say Deli could replace Massimo. 100% on that one. Agree about Fizz. He's not the finished article yet, but we've got plenty of time to learn. Yep, 100%. Agree with that. Love the live stuff, Jake, listening while having a beer. I hope you sat in that beer garden in your back garden, which would be great, mate. Thoughts on Weirdo? Weirdo is a player who built like a tank. He's a little bit like Fizz a little bit, and I don't know. I think with James, with Weirdo, the interesting thing with it will be we want 2 for every single position. Ideally. So if you're thinking the midfield, we've got Bannon, and say Bannon and Weirdo. Then you've got Fizz and Volks. Then you've got Byers and Adeniran. And you've got the possibility of using Alex Hunt maybe next season. There's somebody in the midfield we haven't talked about as well. There's Alex Hunt who may be able to play that role as well. So it'd be interesting to see what we do. We do have quite a stacked midfield when you look at it in that sense. For me, it's more the wide players we miss. Wing backs, if we're going to play that system, we need more of. Ian Indino, hope you well, mate. FWF Massimo is a CDM and he can't defend. He can defend, he's just legs are going. Lewis Gibson on a free if he turns down his contract extension. I'd like that. That'd be good. I was hoping to see a lot more of him this year. It never happened due to injuries, of course. But that would be a quality signing. Somebody who already knows us as well, which would be really good to see what happens. Be nice to see some of the youngins get a chance this season because we have got some quality. Yeah, there's some good ones. Rio, is it Rio Shipton? I think that's his name. Hang on, you're gonna have to hear my annoying keyboarding. Rio. Is it Rio Shipton? He's a massive Wenty fan, I know. You Wenty fan. Yeah, Rio's really starting to show a lot of potential and I'm hoping we can get him on a deal. He's really, really good player. I'd love to see him actually sign a deal and see what we can do there. We got to start using our youth academy a bit more. FWS, he can sit deep and go up the field. It could be wages from an Everton point of view, but it could be interesting to see what we can do. Did he enjoy his time here? I know he had good links at Fleetwood. That's an interesting one. He had good links at Reading when he was there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Nat, Jay, yes, that in my Wednesday theme. Bob, can't blame him that. I meant Fizz can't do it. Yeah, but Fizz is one of those ones where he's only 21, so he can learn. He's got to learn how to defend at the end of the day. He's got to start tracking back and he's got to learn a little bit better for me. It's going to be one of those interesting ones, him going forward in his development, because he's at the point where he got to be playing week in, week out. He really has got to be playing week in, week out. And if he's not, it will be a shame really, because he got to be in there all the time for me personally. Let's have a look. What happened to Conor Grant? I think he's at Plymouth, mate. Or did he get released? He may be at Plymouth, or you're on about the lad from Lincoln. Because I think that's a Connor. I haven't heard anything else on that one. That one's gone a little bit quiet. So it'll be interesting. Alex Hunt is a League 2 player. If he is, he is. He's got to go out and have the consistent game time as well. I was a little bit on the fence with him going to getting the deal, but there's obviously something there. We've seen a lot of him and people like him. There's obviously a good player in Alex Hunt. He needs that step up now. If he's going to go back out on loan, he's got to really show that he wants a proper contract next season, because he had an okay time at Grimsby before he got he had that free kick, and then it really kind of fizzled out. It didn't really go anywhere. So it would be interesting there on that one. If he did go out again, I wouldn't mind actually selling him and getting a bit of cash, because we've got to start selling players. Do you think we'll stick to 3 at the back next season? Possibly. I think that's a really good shout. Also, remember on the situation with keepers. If we go to Stockdale, how good is Stockdale playing out with his feet? Any keeper that comes in has got to be able to play with their feet. It is the new modern way of football. I hate it at times, but it's how it is. Every keeper plays with his feet. You've got to be good and nimble, so that's got to be an interesting one there. So I think we might still do 3 at the back. I think it works. I'd like to see us try doing a back 4 just to see what it's like, but it'd be interesting. Who we got here? Did somebody mention Adbonga? Did he? Has he gone? Didn't think he'd gone yet. Did we release him? Are you sure about that one? I don't think. Where you have we released him? I'm pretty sure he's still at Wednesday. mate. We only got him in the summer, I want to say. And I haven't seen anything about us releasing him. If he is, fair play to him. He's a young lad, he'd go get football. I'm sure our banger's still here. I'll check that one up for next stream. Let's have a look. For me, Eden should be our new CDM. He's the wall. He could be the new reader. Good shout. That is a good shout. He got that kind of stature and he could build that. It would be interesting to see what happens there. Jack, you know where he'd gone? I don't think he had gone. I think he's still at Wednesday, mate. But if you got information he'd gone, let us know where. If you want to dive out, I'm pretty sure he's still there. I reckon Brennan will get a run in the squad. I think he did well when he came in. He's technically our second centre-back, if you want to call it that, because at the end of the day, he had got a pro deal, so he came in and he did well. I'm hoping a lot of the lads will get some sort of 13 football in the Pizza Cup. Cadamarchi could be someone who's ideal for the Pizza Cup, to be fair. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I can't find anything about our Bonga, mate. I think he's still at Wednesday, mate. I haven't seen anything about the youth lot. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. I'm pretty sure he's still at Wednesday, mate. Apologies for this. I haven't seen anything that he's gone, but I could be wrong. Let's do a quick search. Find out from the former Sheffield Wednesday who was released in 2019. New account signed again. Oh, hang on. You might be right. Hang on, let's have a look. Later. See if we got some. Expecting number Sheffield Wednesday to get a decent bell. Could be big chances for the likes of everyone who want to take a closer look. The last thing that got said about a bonger was from Joe Cran on May the 26th. So I'm guessing he's still here, mate. The last thing he said was that he's still at Wednesday. So he's still there, mate. He's still there, mate. So I know he's not gone in that sense. What the deal with Harley Dean? So in April they announced. So yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Jack, that doesn't make sense. So if he was released in April and Joe Cran said on May the 26th this year, I think, let's have a look, make sure. Yeah, Joe Cran on May the 26th turned around and said that he's still at the club. So yeah, I think he's still at the club, mate. I'll have a look. Charles Hagan had gone sadly. Let me have a look at the club website. Let me have a look. The keyboard, they keep disconnecting. Have a look. I haven't seen anything about the actual academies lot yet. Cadamarchi, let's have a look. Under 8, let's have a look at the academies. Young hotshot stopper. I know we had players already move on because we had some of them go already. Fantastic journey for the archery. I can't see anything, mate. I'll be honest with you. I can't see anything about him. What do people think about the new substitution rule as well? Having 5 subs. Jack, if you can find me the bit about a bonger leaving, tweet me it and I'll have a look at it. Because right now I can't see anything unless it was retain list. There we go. Loanees, departing players. That was about our retain list. Oh, a moment. I'll get back to your comments in a minute. I can't see anything about going, mate. I really can't see it, so I can't see it, mate. I can't see it, mate. So whatever. I'll have a look at it later. I just can't see where he's gone on it because apparently he's still here. That's what I don't get. Is Joe Cran did a tweet on the 26th of May this year. You got to still be here. Check the retain list. I did check the retain list. Let me have a look. Retain list. Retain list. Where'd the retain list go? I had it up like a minute ago. Bailey. Lee Grey Crown. Vacancy. Gaffer. Where'd the retain? I had it. It was in front of me. Contain our retain list. So, Saido Barahino, Sam Hutchinson, has all been released. New concepts have been offered. Loneys, Harley Dean, Luke Gibson, Terry Jones, Felix Canberry. That's all it is on the retain list, mate. So, I can't see it. So, it don't matter anyway. I'll look at it up later because I can't think where it is. So Charles is gone. No, he's not. They've gone. He's gone. They released the youngsters. I'll find it later. I'm not gonna argue about it now because I can't find it. Not argue, but you know what I mean. I can't see it. He won to stay at Gvommer. I think he got a lot of good chances to get good team football. Shadipo has gone back. I think he just signed a new 1-year deal as well, which is interesting. Who's here? Hey David Lewis, hope you're well. Sorry about that, took a lot of time. Yeah, there's a 5 subs rule for next season. So let's just go through that now. It got announced today. So EFL club will be able to make 5 substitutions during the match from start of the 2022-2023 campaign. Following the EFL annual general meeting, clubs approved a new substitution rule among other new relegation coming seasons. A match day squad will continue to include 7 names substitute, but 5 changes are now permitted to be made over 3 opportunities during the match, plus an optionary half time. So yeah, there's 5 subs next season. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Yeah, 5 subs. I'm a bit unsure about it. I thought Shadipo did not. Shadipo just got injured. If he didn't get that injury, I think he would have been fine. But with him being injured, it didn't actually help. David Lewis, thoughts on Birmingham next season? Won't 5 subs help bigger clubs that they can afford? It will. That's the thing I've got there with it will help the bigger club with bigger things, but it might be interesting to see what we can do with 5 substitutions. Like one of the things Pep said, wait until you can see what I can do with 5. So 5 substitution could be interesting, but with Wednesday, do we even have 5 fit players to be on the sub bench? Because our sub bench has been bad at time. It'd be good to see if we can use it to put youngsters on, like Edit just said. That will be interesting. Let me read some of these. These are the ones that left from last season. Kenway Burton, Ike Burton, Josh Daewoo, Lou Farmer, Charles Hagan, Jameson, Josh Winder, Declan Thomas, and Liam Ward. Yeah, they're the ones I remember. David Lou, thoughts on Birmingham next season? Yeah, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts on that is, mate, because it doesn't seem good at the minute at Birmingham. It's just, you're still, 1 minute you're waiting on a takeover, it just doesn't seem to be happening. Abernstein, you're right, Abernstein, right, cool, but don't rate him. I haven't seen enough with him to really say much about him. From what I've heard, he's getting there. He's a player that could be good. But he could be one of the players we have to shove out on loan to see what he really can do. Nah, not great. Gonna be another season struggle. I think it'll be a good season for Sheffield. I really hope so, David. I hope you're not in a relegation battle next season, because you've had that bit where you've been almost there, and got saved. And I hope you stay, because you're such a big club in that pool of teams there. And it'd be a shame if you do go. So it will be interesting on that one. I feel like I keep injuries down, but I feel like some teams will beautify stuff. We could have beautified stuff rule, to be fair. But it's going to be interesting, that 5 subs rule. There was a lot of clubs that asked for it when the COVID thing happened, so I'd be interested on that one to see how it goes. It's another one of the EFL rules or FIFA rules which you get, and you come on, it's World Cup year, so let's see how they bollocks up the offside rule or how VAR going to interpret it this time at the World Cup. So that's going to be interesting there. Funk, have you and Deck got your boot to make up the 5? No. Frankly, I don't. Deck might. I wouldn't go near a pitch these days. I've got big git legs, so it would be interesting to see what would happen there. What would your option be if we got Shorty on loan for Manchester United? He's a good player, got a lot of potential. We do have a good link up with Manchester United. We got good link up with Man City as well. So it's those kind of players you're looking at and who you might be able to get on loan. There was a player who I was looking at the other day who would be good, a left back, which would be interesting to see what happens there. He's a really good player, but it's all about what we can do. And you got to remember, at the minute, Man United are going to be on a big rebuild themselves if they get any deals done, or they're going to mess about with it like they do, like Man United do. So it'll be interesting. So I am going to call it in a minute because I want to go get some food. I'm hungry. We'll go till 7. We'll see what else there is and see if anything gets announced. I doubt anything's going to get announced right now. I think we're all good for the day. The other one was, we'll talk about what Palmer's doing. Palmer raiding money for Jude. He was a teammate of Jude's dad, Aaron Jameson, and he's doing really well. If you look what he's doing in Dubai at the minute, really impressive. He'd done his first 100 kilometers for the 10k challenge, raising money. So far, he's raised £3,000. It's all for a good cause, and I really hope they get the money all sorted. So it'll be interesting to see what would happen there and how it goes. Pre-season as well, with the first one being announced, Harrogate away. We'll be interested to see how we do there. And then we've got our trip to Portugal this year. First trip with Darren Moore away because he couldn't do last year because of COVID. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there with it. So it will be interesting. Let's have a look here. Look on the... Not a bad player. Won't be bad. Do you think the World Cup will have an impact on the season? Yeah, I think it will. I think the fact that it's in the middle of like the big run-up of games, I think it's going to cause a massive problem this year. I'm not a big fan of it falling where it has. I'm not a big fan of it where it being held, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. It's going to cause a bit of problems. You're going to have players going... Yeah, you've got Premiership and Championship stopping for those bit, but we in League 1 and League 2, we've got to keep going. And if we've got players of any kind of international value, they may go. So it could be interesting one. So that's another reason I don't want to get loan players, because sometimes you get players who are actually in international duty like Bailey was. So it'll be interesting. Do you think... no, I've read that. Can we get Foden and Grealish? Yeah, I wish. That'd be good. Nah. I was joking because FIFA rating is 73. To be fair, I never really... this is going to be one of those ones where I'm not a big Ultimate Team player. I've never been since they released that version of the game. It just always done my head. It just feels like betting. Let's have a look. What's your prediction for England game tomorrow? I think we'll lose, to be honest with you. I think we will lose that game. I don't think we'll play well. I'm getting really fed up with Southgate, to be fair. He looks really... It just annoys me. The way everything's set up just does my head in at a minute. You just reminded me on something here. Up to EFL. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure... I can't remember if we are shut for it. We might be. You might be right there. I might have been just talking at my backside. I can't remember what it was. Schedule says it's set for a weekend start. The championship will resume. So March round 16, championship starts the 12th of November. Championship will resume on the 10th of December. While League 1 and League 2 fixtures continue as normal. There you go. So we in League 1 and League 2 will continue as normal, but there is a winter break for the Championship and the Premiership. The existing international call-up proponent criteria will apply throughout the season. The Carabao Top will be getting underway on the 8th of August, and the Papa John Trophy will be starting on the 29th. So, yeah, Championship and Premiership teams will get their the break. League 1 and League 2, no break. So we get to keep doing football and get a World Cup all at the same time. So better both worlds in a sense. We get to have a bit more football to watch, including international and the League 1 and League 2. So it'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see, I'll tell you something, the team I'd be interested to see that does this year is Fleetwood, with having Scott Brown as his first international way of doing it. I'm always going to say Premiership. I'm old. I'm an old man. I'm always going to say Premiership. He's not here to tell me off. Stop it. It is Premier League, I know, but I'm always going for Premiership. It's just the year I was born in was always Premiership, so it is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because that break going to really dictate how a lot of things go for people. Really. But I don't think we're going to do well tomorrow. The game in versus Atlanta, I really don't. I'm getting to the point where if you bring someone in, you've got to change it up, and I don't think he knows how to. And people say he's not a great manager. He did okay when he was at middle, but left that. So it'll be interesting. It's just one of those things. I watch international stuff now, and sometimes it's really good and I enjoy it. And then other times I watch it and like, this is just doing my head in. I can be either side of it at the minute on the international scene, so it's interesting. Let's just go to Sky Sports. Is there anything happening while I'm here? Just check if Derby's situation changed. It probably hasn't, because he had his deadline of 5 p.m. and he's not done it. Celtic signed Carter Vickers on permanent. Haaland's about to get him moved. Really sign Haaland for 5.1 million. I know that's not it, but Kane Wilson has gone to Bristol City. Nathan Woods has gone to Swansea. The wasted generation of good players. We are. Well, that's what we do. Sadly. Man United open talk to sign De Jong. Gabriel Jesus due to whoever, Real Madrid, Arsenal's, a lot of people looking at him. My fridge in here going off. There's not much to talk about at the minute, really, with the window just open. Ben Mee left Burnley. Other Jane Trustocki. Aaron Lennon. So they let player go. It's interesting with all the players that are coming out. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I said I was gonna go till 7, mate. I said I was gonna go till 7. But I'm running out of stuff to talk about now, so yeah. So yeah, thank you for being here for this video. I've noticed that throughout the entire of this thing, we've had 31 views and about 110 views, so thank you for watching this stream. I will do another stream next Friday, and hopefully next Friday we'll be talking about signings that have been coming. There will be videos on the channel as well. When a signing does happen, I will try and get it out as soon as possible. If you hit that notification bell, you will get told when the videos are live, and you'll get them straight away. As soon as the club announces something, there'll be a video from me about 10-20 minutes afterwards if I get a chance, so we'll see what happens. We got to sign people before we go to Portugal, to be fair, mate. I can't see us not doing. I think we're going to get a lot of business done next week, and I think that's mainly because he wants players in by the 20th of June when they go back to pre-season. He wants players in by the 20th of June. I reckon next week's going to be busy. And you're going to get a lot of players off holiday as well, which is going to help. Cheers. Thank you, mate. I will do. I've got pizza and chips waiting for me. And I'm going to get out of this room because I am sweating. It's the time of year when this room becomes a sweat box. It's horrible. Have a good one, guys. Have a good weekend. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. That's not peace. That's rock science. But hey.